Good afternoon. My name is Craig Kissick, and I'm the Director of Nature and Science for Heritage Auctions. And today I want to talk to you about an incredible assortment of gold that we have in our upcoming Nature and Science auction on December 8th. We're going to show you some incredible specimens and give you some more details. I'm joined by Joe Madalena, who I'll let introduce himself, and then we'll get going.
Hey, I'm Joe Madalena, Heritage Auctions, and working with Craig here on this amazing auction of gold. I mean, how often do you get to sit in front of a table of actual gold?
You don't, and people don't realize the rarity of gold inherently, that there's an adage that if you can envision a cube 60 by 60 by 60 meters, all of the gold in the world would fit in that box.
Wow.
Really tells you how
So we have
rare
half the
gold
box
is.
here?
It seems like it. And I'll also tell you what people also don't know for real purposes of comparison, a 1 carat gold nugget, a 1 ounce gold nugget is as rare as a 5 carat diamond.
Wow.
And I don't know if people think about that either. So this is incredible. And gold, the beauty of gold is it is a precious metal. It is a commodity. It is universally appreciated. It holds value. But in our collector market, nuggets and various pieces of what we call crystallized gold really take the stage. And
So
that's what we're going to talk about today.
I'm fascinated. I'm a collector. I've been collecting minerals and fossils. Well, not fossils, minerals. Craig's
I
getting
collect
me into
fossils. There we go.
He's the fossil guy. But meteorites. And I've always been fascinated by natural gold. I can't tell you the first time I went to a show and I picked up a piece of gold and I'm like, is this real? Yeah. I couldn't believe this was real.
There's an inherent, literally, there's a natural magic, for lack of a better word, with gold.
Yeah, it's magnetic.
It affects you when you touch it. It really does.
Yeah, it's almost like and the feel and the weight, you know. So tell me about what you've got.
Well, obviously the keystone piece in this auction is this bad beauty right here, which is the Alaska Centennial Nugget. It's called the Alaska Centennial Nugget because it was found 100 years after the Klondike gold strike.
Okay.
So it's of great historical importance. The singular most important thing, and we'll get into the weight and the gold and all that, it is simply put the largest gold nugget ever found in the state of Alaska, period.
So ever?
Yeah, ever. Since over 100 of years and whatever. Yes, I mean, if you think about how much gold's been mined in Alaska, how significant Alaska gold is to the world, it's the largest. You know, it's crazy. It's 294.1 ounces, and it's almost 90% gold.
So
there's
30
almost
pounds.
It's about 21.5. There's about 257 ounces of pure gold in that rock.
So this was just found in a stream? Where was this?
This was found by a guy named Barry Clay near the Swift River outside of a place called Ruby, Alaska back in 1998. He found it. It was purchased by a private individual who owned it for, roughly about 30 years. And then when he passed away, his son, who is known to us here at Heritage, fortunately, reached out and we worked a deal to try to sell this for him in our upcoming auction. But it is such a piece of historical significance. I mean, it's big, it's beautiful, it's gold, it checks every possible box. But the sheer fact that it is the seminal largest gold nugget ever found in the state of Alaska, what else can you say?
Well,
I mean, you run out of superlatives. There's nothing else.
That's as big as you can say.
Yeah, that's really as big as
20 pounds of gold.
Yes.
So when you realize it's like, we think of gold like in jewelry, and we think of gold like, as this, Fort Knox and stuff. When you understand that this is an actual nugget, that just has been sitting there for millions of years until it was found its way here.
Now let's put it in even greater context, Joe. About 99% of all gold that's ever been found has been refined. Right. It's been made into coins or jewelry or whatever. It's inherently rare for gold to exist in nugget form. And for a superlative size like this, I mean, let's put it in contrast. This nugget is also from Alaska, came from essentially the same collection. This is a 24-ounce gold nugget. A 24-ounce gold nugget is monstrously huge.
Sure.
And this thing isn't even, there's kind of a nick on this other one, but that gives you an idea. I mean, this is extremely large, extremely rare.
And beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably, this is a $75,000 or $80,000 nugget right there.
And I think that's the thing about these gold nuggets. It's like,
me?
We see diamonds and we see jewelry and stuff, but like you said, there's something magical about these.
There absolutely is.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and I certainly never recommend anybody, dealing in this kind of gold for its melt or spot value, but you also always have the inherent value of gold. Right. It's always got a precious metal that has always retained its appeal and its value throughout human history.
And it can go up.
And of course it can go up.
That could be a good hedge.
Absolutely.
So if gold ever hits $5,000 an ounce and you own this.
Yes, gold gold is a fantastic
Could be a lottery
hedge.
ticket.
Absolutely.
So, museum piece, right?
Absolutely. I think institutional. I mean, I would think somebody, I mean, truth be told, it's personal bias. I think that should be in the Smithsonian Institution because it's the seminal gold nugget ever found in Alaska. I mean, its significance to American gold mining history is unlimited.
Right. So this is the best of its kind, the best of class. It's got everything you'd ever want for it. So it is the pinnacle piece of gold that Heritage has ever offered.
It really does. And there are, I mean, the boot of Cortez from Mexico that we sold a number of years ago here at Heritage, and a nugget called the Monument that was found at some point in California are probably the only two in terms of size that rival this from the Northern Hemisphere.
Okay.
Some of the Australian golds are larger, but they also typically have a lot of quartz in them and stuff, unless you get these smaller, beautiful crystalline nuggets that we'll talk about in a minute. But that is really, I mean, it has no peer, yes. I mean, the answer is it has no peer.
So in terms of, God forbid, melt value, what is this worth?
Melt value alone on that piece is probably about $600,000 or $700,000.
Okay, $600,000 or $700,000.
Yes, just on the melt gold value.
So
yes,
as a collectible specimen,
yes.
It's $1 million.
Yes, we have this
rock.
piece estimated for auction at $800,000 to $1.2 million, and the reserve or the opening price for the auction will be $675,000. So it's actually it's. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but it's a deal.
Spot,
it's
right?
a deal.
It's a deal. So
if
gold doubles, this is a deal. This is probably one of the best deals. Best
I mean, true. Yes, that should. I mean, we don't, even in natural history, we don't touch it a lot, but this legitimately should be a seven-figure offering, yes.
Well, I hope it is.
No question about it. Yeah, I mean, it's that. But again, the gold is amazing. The amount of gold is amazing. But again, the historical significance, the largest gold nugget ever found in Alaska. Period. There's nothing to say after that.
And you've got its sister. But now we get into like what I'm most fascinated with is we go from nuggets.
Yes.
Tell me about this fossilized gold. This crystallized gold. Tell me about that.
Well, crystallized gold is basically when the actual, gold is a mineral like other minerals, and it will form into certain crystal habits. In this case, crystallized gold tends to look like a leafy form. This, for example, is an exquisite, and I do mean exquisite, collector piece. This came out of the collection of Steve Smale, who is a legendary mineral collector, and also this really shows you how much intelligence is in our community. He actually is the father of chaos mathematics. Wow. So the guy is a world-renowned person. I've heard him referred to actually as probably the most intelligent living human being. Wow. Now that Stephen Hawking has passed. It's that significant. This was in his collection. Again, you can see the sparkle. You can see that every little leaf here is beautifully crystallized gold. Now this is something where obviously there's a large amount of gold in this piece, but that's not the value. The value here is the aesthetics, the luster, the various visual attributes that a collector like Joe would look for
in
putting this in your collection. It's unbelievably rare. And again, when people are typically mining gold, they're trying to get the gold out. It's even rare that something like this would be saved in its form. This could have been melted down. This could have been taken out anyway. It's crazy.
In the mining process, something this fragile, I mean, one chunk, it's broken in two.
Yes.
So the fact that it came out, this is from California?
Yeah, this is Eagle's Nest.
Okay, so California has, without question, the best crystallized gold.
Specimen,
in the world,
yes,
right?
Specimen crystallized gold.
So you have to, honestly, something like this you have to see in person because it's just truly Mother's nature.
Yeah, if that's not one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen that was not man created, I don't know what is. That's unbelievable.
This worth?
This piece is probably about a $250,000 piece.
Wow.
But I mean, again, this is for a mineral collector type person who appreciates it. And the provenance, again, we mentioned the Eagle's Nest mine is one of the most important gold producing mines in California. And California golds, as Joe said, are known the world over for having high end specimen quality examples.
So we literally have, in this auction, 50 pieces of gold?
Yeah, 50 pieces of what I'll say superlative gold. These are not just half-ounce nuggets and little things that look like some filling from a tooth. These are all highly collectible, and even nuggets, most nuggets, again, are just kind of globs of gold. Just look at the shape and form, the aesthetic nature of these. They're highly collectible, which again, inherently makes them worth a multiple of the actual spot value of the gold. There are just so many. Australia, California, Alaska, we have tons of localities represented, incredible provenance on each thing. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And for example, if we stay over here on the crystalline side, this piece was actually at one point controlled by the Houston Museum. This was out of the collection of Dr. Miguel Romero, who is, again, a legendary feature or artist person, probably considered the finest collector of minerals in Mexico.
Right,
I mean,
sure.
Unbelievable.
Legendary
and this,
collection.
and this is just, again, a leafy gold. It's crystallized, but actually in these little leaf plates, it's not terribly delicate. The one interesting thing about gold is the most malleable material we have. It doesn't actually break, it bends, but it still needs to be handled carefully. But I mean, that's just an incredible piece. But again, the provenance, something out of Dr. Romero's collection, makes it even more important than just the sheer obvious size, luster, there's everything.
Mined?
This is from a California locality. I'll have to research the exact one. It's a California gold,
California
I believe.
piece.
Yeah, it's Nevada or California. I think it's Nevada County, California, which always confuses me.
But again, it has a completely different feel and aesthetic than the Eagle's Nest.
Yes, it does. It does, but still beautiful and kind of a little bit more of a rarity.
So
now,
is that $100,000?
This is probably $150,000 to $200,000.
Okay.
Now this piece is really interesting. This is about a 22 ounce piece. So we're similar in weight to this guy. There's a little bit bigger, but a little open. There's some quartz in there, but this is sort of a hybrid. This is what I would call a crystallized nugget, and I love this. It's kind of shaped like the continent of Africa. It's got beautiful texture. Not only is there one good side, there's two. Every angle is unbelievable. I mean, this thing is just absolutely a showstopper. I mean, I just look at this and I think, but again, simply, I'm just overwhelmed. The sheer rarity of any gold nugget over 5 ounces, let alone over 20, and certainly over 250, is really kind of out of control. I'm very fortunate to be able to handle this and have put this together. This is
just
nuts.
to have so many of these.
Yes,
So honestly, this is the finest auction of gold that Heritage has ever had,
it's
right?
pretty awesome.
It's
pretty
anchored
awesome.
by the Alaska Nugget.
Centennial Nugget, yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
incredible. Yeah,
absolutely.
And this is just,
sure.
You look at the inside, it's amazing.
Yeah, any mineral collector who's into aesthetics would love that piece. Because again, a gold blob isn't going to turn them on, but boy, this sure is. I mean, you can put it almost any direction. You could mount it, you could put it in a base, and it's going to look great. And really, we have so many. I mean, I kind of like this. I think it looks like a dinosaur, so I kind of think that's cool.
These are my favorite. I love these nuggets. These are so cool.
They can be a little zoomorphic or whatever, but there's so many, and
these
the
are
shapes,
5,
the
6
luster,
ounces?
or even a little bit bigger than that. I mean, they're just amazing. I mean, some of these have. Look at the incredible luster of that. I mean, that's so bright you can't believe it. This piece is important. This is one of the Mato Grosso pieces from South America, which is these tiny crystallized gold that came out are considered some of the finest ever. I mean, just look at the natural form, and they don't have to be large to be valuable. They're very, very impressive. I mean, that's for a natural item. I mean, that looks like a piece of jewelry somebody made, and that's natural.
And this is what, like 15 items? So this is not even a third of what we have.
No, we're gonna have more gold, and we have big pieces, small pieces, more crystalline pieces. We have a lot of stuff like that, and we have such an abundance here. We'll probably have some really nice golds in our January auction too, because we're just it's really raining gold. Like I think you said it best the other day to me. Heritage has struck gold, and it's really true. It's going to be on display in December. So
this auction is December
8th.
December 8th.
Here in Dallas. We'd love to have people come. We'll have a preview out if they want to see the pieces. We'll have it online. We'll have a catalog. We'll get the information out to you. And it's auction number 8068, so you can go to www.ha.com/8068 and see it. We're in the process of photographing and describing them, so soon they'll be up online for everybody to look at them, and then they'll be open for bidding about a month before the auction. So we're extremely excited. I mean, this is, I don't have to sell you on how cool this is. So, we put together something that's pretty mind-boggling when you get down to it.
And we just wanted you guys to see it before, months go by, because we're so excited about it. It's just like building this auction has been just like, it's hard to believe that we're actually looking at gold.
No,
right?
it really is. And the fact that, again, if you hadn't even seen these, any of these pieces are unbelievable. I mean, they're just unbelievable. So, there truly is something for everybody. I mean, gold is it's a great collectible. It's universally coveted. It's inherently valuable. There is a reason that gold is, the most sought after precious metal, and here's why.
Join us at the largest gold auction of nuggets and crystallized gold
pieces,
we've ever had.
I think that's
We'll see
a
you in
fair
December.
statement. Yep. Thanks so much.